I'm always touching my face. I don't know why. Um, I wanted to talk about the media. How do we get our information? How do we assess the information that we're getting? How do we know if the media is telling the truth or not? As we could tell, CNN, MSNBC, all the news medias have been found out to be giving out false information regarding whatever's going on in the presidency. And they're not fair and balanced. These journalists are not taking their time to dig up the information that is pertinent to what is needed to be known for the public. Should we individually, go and search the information for ourselves? Or do we look at the people that are trying to liberate us from the tactics or are free thinkers and are willing to look at the other side to give you a fair and balanced information? Because they say, it's her truth, his truth, and then there's the middle, right? Which is the actual truth. Because everybody sees things from their own perspective. So if you watch CNN and then you go watch Fox and then you watch what Trump is saying, you can kind of see what is really happening. When people just blatantly, disrespectfully not listen to, the other side, can you really take their opinion on matters as truth? Right? Can you? Because I don't think you can. I don't think you can. And I think it's important that we be able to get real information, the truth, right? Like, let's talk about the Federal Reserve, right? What is this money system that is propped up? Why is it Venezuela in the shit storm that it's in? Not saying that people are hungry, but that the money is inflated to where things can be unaffordable, which that can surely happen here because it's happened in Africa, and it's based off of the fiat money. And if you don't know anything about money and you're only getting your information from, the general education board systems, how can you say you're accurately informed? Even when you go back into the 90s and you go and you see the Bill and Monica Lewinsky scandal, you come to realize that they were investigating him for fraud and getting money illegally. But then somehow it switched into the Monica Lewinsky scandal. These people have been into these type of things since the early 1900s. Manipulating media, manipulating people's minds, because we are the commodity in actuality. Our minds is the commodity. It isn't the money or gold or anything like that. We are the catalyst to reality. So if they can manipulate you into doing whatever you want, whatever they want, it doesn't matter what they're giving you to to make you feel that you're rich or successful in life. It's the ability to control you into doing whatever they want you to do, right? Like you talk about rape culture. I mean, why is it that, you know, we go jump down on Trump, but we don't talk about the Epstein stuff that he pleaded guilty to in Miami, and him doing child uh, um, abuse things. Why don't we take those things seriously? Take those things seriously. It all goes back to where we're getting our information. Where do we get our news? Where do we get, what is the media really here for? And if we don't understand it, that's part of the game. Give them something that they don't understand. Why is see, I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a globe earther. I'm a I don't know earther. Right? And I go look up words, etymologies of words, and things like that to, assess what is really being told to us, or, where these things actually come from, or what they was alluding to when they first was originated. I think that's the only way we can really see if something is true. But once again, it comes down to the media. What is it? What is it here to do? And who should you trust? I don't think you should trust any of them. I don't think you should trust Fox. I don't think you should trust CNN. I don't even think you should trust me. I think you should have 4, maybe 5 alternative media sources. Some that are some are mainstream, some are not mainstream, and some are fringe. Because that's how you're going to get what is actually happening here. I mean, just to think that CNN is giving you the actual truth is absurd to me. It doesn't make any sense. Or Fox is giving you all the 100% truth. None of that makes sense to me. Because how could... if you can even go into, the 80s when they were saying CNN was or not the 80s, I think it was the 60s, where they were saying the CIA was manipulating the newspapers into giving out propaganda, and that comes from Nazi Germany. I mean, we don't do our research, and then we think we're educated because we go to these universities. But then in my mind, it's like, the universities, are they really teaching anything? Because once you start taking money from people that aren't qualified to get in, but they're able to get in, does that make the institution credible still? In my mind, no. But in other people's mind, it could possibly be still credible. These are the things that I think about and want to figure out. And I implore or hope that everybody would take that stance into what they think should be done, or how the media should work. Or with the internet, it brings a total new way of media. So you have probably like 5,000 different media outlets on the internet now, and they're all trying to give out the truth. They're not being controlled or ran by anybody, because how can you control this many people? You can control Fox, right? You can control CBS, MSNBC, because you just sent you're paying them. You're giving them their checks to be on the TV on 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock news. So you just send them a fax or an email and say this is the talking points for the week or the day. But if you don't have people under control, they can really get to the truth, because they're gonna dig and dig and dig until they're satisfied with what they found. We're living in a trying time. You got anti-Trump, you got pro-Trump. What is there to believe? Is Instagram a proper media outlet as well? Can you get truth from people on social media? Well, I look at it like this. I'm an individual, and I don't believe that I'm lying. I believe that I do the necessary research to make sure that I'm putting out credible information, dictionary, words from the dictionary, words from article prints. I might not go to the library and get actual books, but I'm reading articles from credible news sources that are stated on, TV with quote unquote educated people. So you gotta assess these things and really look at them for what they are. Like vaccinations. I get it, nurses and doctors feel that we should go with the news source outlet, but if there's people that are nurses and they went and actually did some research and found out, vaccinations aren't good, well, this person was a nurse for 30, 40 years. You was a nurse for 5 or 6 years. Who should I believe? Should I believe the one with the 30-year experience, or should I believe the one with the less experience? And what is your source for the information that you're giving? Did you look at the ingredients in these vaccinations, or have you did the research on how many children are affected by these vaccinations? Have to assess everybody. You have to take everybody's word with a grain of salt and not be willing to just throw away people because you disagree with them. So with that, Fear is Black. Peace.